Hi, I'm Josh, and I'll be making an AI in Gladiabots. So I decided that I would make an AI from scratch and put it on YouTube so fellow noobs like myself can kind of see my mindset and methodology and the steps that go into it for me. So first things first, let's go into campaign, chapter 1. And we'll start with a new AI, which I named HiveMind. The most important part of any project is to give it a cool name, so this one's HiveMind. So what are we going to have the bot do? I think at a high level, well, I guess the most important thing of any AI in Gladiabots is to collect resources, because if you can't do that, you can't win. So let's start out with that. First one, if we have a resource, let's score it to the closest ally base, seems fine. And if we don't have a resource, let's catch the closest resource. So we'll start out simple and we'll add in more logic as necessary. I don't think this is even going to work for the first level, but let's see what happens. So let's just speed up. It looks like we have the same. So it was very similar until all the resources were picked up on the map, and at that point the enemy AI switched to attacking, so they killed us off and they managed to score the final resource. So all we should do, the first thing we should do is we should move this logic into a sub AI. So let's do that first. Let's cut and let's add a new sub AI. Let's call it, let's say 5 gather. And I'm gonna arbitrarily pick some numbers. I'm gonna create this like a bullet list, just to kind of organize stuff. So I'll have 5, we'll have that be gather, and then let's say I have some sub AIs inside of that. I'll have like 5.1, 5.2, and so on. But for now, let's just leave it at this. So the last thing I want to do is gather after I've done everything else. So right now I just want my AI to kill all the opponent bots, and once they're all dead, then I gather. So let's add another sub AI. Let's call it, let's say 3 attack. Oops. And this one, if we're not in range of an, actually let's see, if we are in range of an enemy, let's say distance from me, let's say it's short or medium. We'll start off with that. If we aren't in range, then we'll move towards the closest enemy. Closest enemy of, closest of any of the enemies. Doesn't matter what he's doing. And then we add that as the middle branch. And spoiler alert, we're going to be adding another branch over here, which will retreat when we're getting hit, but we're not to that yet. I don't think we probably won't have to worry about that for a few missions. So we're going to kill all of them, and because the opponent didn't even want to attack until after all of the resources were either picked up or gathered, it was kind of one-sided. So let's see how it works now. That was pretty easy. Let me let me replay that so you can see what happened. But what happened is one decided to gather, so, and then the other three use, it looks like the same logic as I do. Since it's 3 versus 4, we easily win the fight. Then we can pick off the last guy, even though he actually tried fighting back there. Didn't matter because it was 3 on 1. And then we easily won. So let's see what happens now. I'm not sure if we would have won if they hadn't won on resources, because we had killed, I guess we had lost 2 and we had killed 2. It looks like we're lower on our health overall. Anyhow, I think this would be an easy win if we just retreated when our shields were low. So let's add in that logic. Let's add in the sub AI first, one.retreat. And then let's just say, if my shield is low, then flee from the closest enemy. Now, the issue with this logic is we'll keep retreating even after we're out of range of all the enemies. We'll just keep walking further and further away. So when our shield is back up, it'll take us a while to actually get back into the action. So that's kind of not great, but we'll see how well this does for now. So let's add this in. Oh, not action. I want to add a sub AI to retreat, and let's see how well that goes. We scored 1, it doesn't really matter. It looks like our retreating is a lot better than theirs, even though ours was extremely simplistic. And we won. So let's see how long this will last us. Looks like they're pushing us back, and we're taking full damage, whereas they're not. Which, well, I think I spoke too soon. I'm not entirely sure why we won that one, so let's get to the middle of the fight. Push back. See, at this point, all of our bots have at least half health, or at the most half health, I should say. They have 2 of them with full health. So, what did they do wrong? I'm not sure. It might have just been luck that we actually won that one. Speed up. I think part of it might be that, for whatever reason, they're retreating a lot more than we are. Because of that, we end up firing a lot more. Due to the fact that we're always attacking the closest, we're kind of doing a form of focus fire, so that might be doing part of it. I don't know. What's the saying? Don't look a gift horse in the mouth. We'll stick with this logic until we need to change it. So, we have a sniper this time. The sniper is picking us off, no problem. And they won. So I didn't mention this at the beginning, but I'm going to try to use all assaults for as long as I can. Just to, I guess, keep things simple. So let's see what we can do. Let's rewatch this and see what we can do. So the first thing I notice is we have split focus. these three went after the sniper and the bottom one went this way, although then they all reprioritize. Now they're focusing on two separate guys. This guy is getting hit by the sniper. So first off, if you're getting hit by the if you're being targeted by a sniper, and your shields aren't full, if you have only like half shields, then the next shot that the sniper is going to take is going to actually hurt your hull. So there should be additional logic that you start backing up when you start backing up earlier if you're being focused by a sniper. So let's see. The sniper is within the outer ring, which of course the sniper still does 100% damage in the outer ring. But I can't really tell if the sniper's in this area of the outer ring or that area of the outer ring, because the game doesn't give me that kind of information. So since my bots tend to be on the cusp of medium range, I have to assume that that if I'm being targeted by a sniper, I'm within around medium range of the sniper. So what I should do, let's try being extremely defensive, and anytime we're being focused by a sniper, regardless of what our shields are, let's try backing away from the sniper. Okay, let's try that. Whoops. So if an enemy is attacking me, then if an enemy is attacking me and the enemy is a sniper, if a sniper class enemy is attacking me, which seems good, then let's back away from enemy sniper. And since there can be only one enemy sniper, we don't need to say closest or whatever. And then to be consistent, imagine we start backing away from the enemy sniper and he hits us, so our shields go down to 25%. I think it makes sense to keep backing away from that enemy sniper who hit us, just to be consistent with this. But I guess for now we're going to assume that all of the enemies are roughly clustered together. So if we're backing away from one enemy, it's basically the same as backing away from any other. So let's not add special logic for that just yet. So for now, let's leave it like this and see what happens. So you notice we're doing a crazy dance. The sniper keeps targeting us. We keep dancing back. And then he targets someone else and we dance back. Now the question is, are we going to be able to actually do anything? Are we just going to end in a stalemate here? Let's fast forward and see what happens. So it looks like they're being too aggressive in trying to collect resources for their own good. And that is causing them to, or at least it was causing them to walk into range of us. Oh no. Okay. Okay, so we ran out of time. Now, assuming that the sniper, assuming we could have killed the sniper, we would have been fine. Let's see what we can do. I think we might actually not want to start backing up unless we have, let's say, a little bit of our shields hurt. If the sniper is just aiming at us, I don't think we want to back up just yet. So let's change this. So say if the sniper is shooting at us or let's do it like this. Say if our shield isn't completely full and the sniper is aiming at us, then let's back away from the sniper. Now let's see what happens. Okay, let's fast forward and see what notice one thing here is the assault bots ended up clustering over here, whereas the sniper had its own angle. The only issue with that for us is the fact that, at least for a while, we were splitting our priorities between the sniper and the assault bots. Now it looks like we're doing okay though. Okay, now we can... Let me back up a little bit. I'll show you that again. After the assault bots were dead, we were actually able to attack the sniper, which we weren't able to do before. The reason being is we don't start running away right when he targets us. We only start running away if our shield is hurt a little bit. Alright. Let's try the next one. Let's see if we can get by with this. Alright, so we have a shotgun. Killed that right away. And now it's 2 on 4. So that shotgun had a questionable strategy of rushing us. Alright. Now, looks like this guy has the exact same logic that we do. So the one thing that I know that we could do a lot better is, instead of everyone having their own target, why don't we all focus on the same target? And that's actually pretty easy to implement. Maybe. So let's leave this the same, but let's add one higher priority, which is, first off, you know what? Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to try to, before we start attacking the closest enemy that's within range, we're going to try to attack the closest enemy that an ally is attacking. I hope we can do that. So attack an enemy. Ally current action is being attacked by an ally. So this here, we're attacking the closest enemy that's being attacked by an ally, and we have to make sure we set the ranges correctly at short or medium range. It might actually make sense to add at long range, but we're not going to do that just yet. Yeah, not just yet. Now let's see if this might not actually do anything different, and if it doesn't, I'll show you why. Oh, it did something different. However, it caused them to do the same thing that that we did. So let's try, let's restart. Let's take a look at this initial engagement here. Alright, so we end up focusing on the 2 middle ones. They actually get their first volley off first, which is not good for us. But the fact that we were... Okay, so what we want to do next before we add any additional logic is we'll have it say that if you're trained on somebody, that you stay on them until they walk completely out of range. That won't necessarily make the AI better, but it'll keep us from switching targets so much. Hopefully it'll keep us from switching targets unnecessarily. So let's see. If I first have it attack an enemy, the closest enemy that I'm already attacking, um, who is at short or medium range, this is almost certainly a good thing to not switch targets as long as whoever we were firing at is still in short or medium range. The only time we'd ever want to switch targets if our current target is in short or medium range is if for some reason we find some other target that would be much higher priority. For example, if we're firing at an assault bot at medium range and a shotgun comes into short range, we almost certainly want to switch to the shotgun, just because if we don't, we're going to get messed up. And in that case, honestly, we might want to just back up. But it's almost always a good idea to stay on the target that you're currently targeting if they haven't gone out of the range that they already were in. Now the question is it also good staying on them at long range? Now the advantage of staying on them at long range is then you don't have the retargeting penalty, and you don't have to start walking forward. The downside is you could end up having some of your bots wasting a lot of their firepower. But let's try staying targeting the bot until they go completely out of range and see how that works for now. And we might want to try the other one also. Okay. Now the question becomes, why aren't they focus firing? And I can explain that. So let's get to the point where they're just about ready to start firing, and then I'll pause. Alright, so notice it doesn't actually show visually very well. This bot is within medium range, but this bot is actually within long range. Because they might actually both be in medium range. But this bot started attacking that bot, and then this one is being attacked by an ally, but because this is the highest priority, we stay on the enemy that we're currently attacking. So let me rewind slightly. We'll take a look at how this changes. I'll slow down right when it gets to here. Now we're attacking closest enemy at short range. This is also attacking closest enemy at short range. And then because we stay on since we stay on the current attacked enemy, it never switches. So let's try something different here. Instead of attacking the closest enemy attacked by an ally that's only within short or medium range, let's also attack them if they're at long range. And I'm not sure this will work, but it might. Okay, so the reason it doesn't work is because when they all decide to attack their initial targets, none of the other bots know about it until the next AI tick. I do really want them to focus, so what could I do? I mean, I could just cheese this one and have them rush, not even pay attention to their shields. But I do want to have a strong AI in general. I don't want to just beat individual levels using individual level strats. So let's try adding some logic.